going on? This is Zakk Wylde, Black Label Society, and may the rock be with you. Yeah! No!
Hey, mate.
Joy, what are you doing, man?
Just got up, man.
Hey, well, what time is it over there? 8 o'clock in the morning for you?
8:30, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Mate,
That's
great to talk to you.
all right, back at you, man. How's everything shaking over there? Can you go out now, or is it lightening up a little bit?
We can go out, but people are a bit hesitant at the moment. Our numbers are up pretty high, so they're freaking out a little bit.
I mean, has everybody got the shot down there, or
Yeah, I think there's about 95% of us have got it.
Wow. I mean, everybody. You would just assume everybody should be able to like hang out now. You know what I mean?
The new variant though is kicking off, and the people are getting it everywhere now. But I mean, it's lesser, so we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, I mean, we just did what did we do? We did 40 plus 44 shows or something like that in like 50 something days. No COVID, anything.
Yeah,
What
wow.
I mean? Everybody going to the shows, nobody's wearing masks. You know what I mean? I'm just saying they had masks on when you get in, and everybody had to be either have vaccination or proof that they didn't have, took a test earlier that day or whatever. But like everybody went in, everybody had a good time, and that was it.
Well, it should be, man. I hope we can get to that in the future and not worry about anything.
Yeah, totally.
So there we go.
I agree, because I mean we're getting ready. I guess in 5 months we're getting ready to head back to go over to England, Europe, and then come back to America, and then hopefully, go down to Australia, New Zealand, South America, Asia, whole world tour for the next 2 years. So hopefully that's what'll happen.
Hope so. Now, the thing is that we've spoken a few times before, and it's been 4 years since we last chatted. So let's do a quick catch up. How have the last 4 years been for you?
Well, my wife has divorced me 5 times in that period, and she's remarried 4 times. So the last time she remarried me again. So, yeah, so I mean that was exciting, you know what I mean? But
congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. I must be something special because she just keeps coming back for more. She can't get enough, man. It must be my poetry lyrical skills or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's the shoulder rubs or the foot massages. I don't know. But no, aside of that, I guess since I talked to you last, I guess I mean, we during the pandemic, the 2 years we were down, put the box set out, did some videos for that. Then we knocked this new album out and did some videos for this. So, so we've been busy, what I mean, during the pandemic. But it was weird, the first show we did back was when we were the last show we had done was with the Milwaukee chapter at the rave. And then it was like 2 years later, we were on stage, same place. And it was like, wow, I can't believe it was already 2 years ago. Wow. I mean, like just flying by, man.
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it? And I mean, even the time with the new album, with Doom Crew Inc., it's been out for about a month or so now. Now, when you put it all together, what's the feeling like when you finally get it out for everyone there to hear?
Well, no, you're definitely excited because you want to play it for everybody. You know what I mean? So, and the single that Set You Free and the video was out for a little while, for like a month or so before, so it was like everybody was like waiting to hear. And then I think we put the second video out, but so it was just kind of like looking forward to everybody, hearing the rest of the meal, so
true.
Yeah, it's definitely, because that's why you knock it out. But I mean, yeah, so now we're looking forward to, now that the record's out, playing a batch of the tunes in the set, now that everybody has a chance to digest some of the songs. So yeah.
Fair enough. Now, 11 albums in though, what if anything did you want to set out to do differently or do differently compared to your previous albums?
Well, I mean, obviously we have more Dario on the new record, so I mean, it's just a evolution, really. I mean, it's just because during the live shows, because Dario's been with us for 7 years, which is insane, how it's just flying by. So it's just, he'd be doubling solos with me, certain parts of solos, whether it's old stuff, like Suicide Messiah or Stillborn and pieces like that. So it just him coming to the party more and more often and fire it up, us going out in the crowd, take drink orders and doing banjos and stuff. So it just pretty much spilled over onto the new record. So like when I was writing the record, it was just like, it'd be extend the solos and then, go, I'll put a harmony line here so me and Dario can do it. And then we'll do a unison thing here. And then, then we'll trade back and forth with solos or whatever. So it was definitely a lot of fun, man, for sure. So I'm really happy with the way everything came out. JD, and Adam, they knocked it out of the park with the mixes and everything like that. So really happy with everything.
Yeah, I think that I was going to mention the twin guitar assault. It brings a real new dynamic to the sound of the band too. It's something I haven't really heard from you guys before, which I absolutely loved.
Oh, awesome. Very good, man.
Now, I normally like to ask about one song in particular on the album, but I don't want to in this case because I have to ask about the videos. How much fun were those 2 videos to make?
Without a doubt, we had a blast, man. People were like, did you guys have stunt doubles for, End of Days? I go, no, that's me and JD. And then when the camera stopped rolling, me and JD continued brawling, in the koala bear and the grizzly bear outfit. So yeah, when we went to a restaurant later that night, we still wore the outfits and we're still brawling in the restaurant. So it was good. It was a good time.
Oh man, that's the thing. They're entertainment, and it was fun just watching them, and it draws you into the song even more. I thought it was awesome.
Well, I always just say that with the videos. I go, give me a reason why I should watch this thing.
Yeah. I had no idea you were going to brawl. I saw these 2 characters. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And all of a sudden, it's a turf war. That was amazing.
Totally.
Now, we all know that
I got an idea for a video. So what's the idea? So me and JD dress up in mascot outfits, promoting a restaurant or whatever. All right. Then what happens after that? Then we just fight throughout the whole video. All right. What about the band? No band performance, just us fighting throughout the whole video. It's like that has nothing to do with the song. Exactly. That's what I want to do. Yeah. So,
I purposely love the part
where you just come up with these brilliant, genius Einsteinian ideas, and then you just do them.
Yeah, and you beat up the influencers or the whatever they were, and I thought that was awesome. Now, the last 2 years, as we know, have been absolute doozies for everyone. So what, if anything, has this whole situation taught you that you'll now maintain throughout your life and career?
Well, no, for me, I was blessed that I got a chance to spend time with my family and the dogs and, everything, because when I'm usually doing 300 shows a year. I'm like always on the road. So a vacation for me is being home. You know what I mean? Just waking up, having coffee in the morning, watching the sun come up, or bringing, Sabbath to school, doing stuff like that. So, because I cherish every moment I'm on the road. I love touring. I love playing every night. But I also love being home. You know what I mean? When I'm home, I love that as well. So, during the pandemic, I just, just made me, not that I needed to, I always appreciate everything I have. So, but it didn't make me appreciate it that much more. But it's just like, I just love every second I had home, so, but, but like you said, and then us going back out on the road, I loved every second of that too, seeing the gang again, and then all of us rolling again and everybody having a good time.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned earlier going out on the road over to Europe and stuff, and you threw in Australia there. Has there been any talk at all of tour dates or anything at all, or is it just what you hope will happen?
Well, we're already scheduled for Europe. So, that's in 5 months from now. Mm-hmm. And we're scheduled for that, and then coming back to the States after that. So in 5 months from now, we're planning on going to Europe and then coming back to America. And, and the game plan after that is the rest of the world. So hopefully, everything will be ready to roll.
Yeah. You guys have been here a number of times, and I've seen you every time you've come here. It's always like I don't know how you explain it. You always talk about the chapters and the family inside of it. And it is just such an environment that is so welcoming, your shows. I just think it's so awesome to see everyone loving every second of it.
It's great. I love the fact that it's bigger than a band, that it's bigger than me. So, I always thought it was our next door neighbors growing up when I was a kid. My buddy Scott, his older brothers, they were all deadheads. And I just thought it was the coolest thing that this band brought everybody together. And it was just like, you had friends coming we were in Jersey, you had friends coming from like Boston, Philadelphia, all over the place. They would all meet at, the Smith's house they would, just have these massive keg parties over at the house and barbecue. And then they'd all get together and then they'd all roll and be with the band. So it was like this living, breathing thing, you know what I mean? As opposed to just a band, so it was always, the band was the main thing, but it brought so many people together. So I think it's a beautiful thing that, like with Black Label now is, our Black Label family over there. So it's just like, you got people from the UK hooking up with people from Australia or people from California, hooking up with people in New Zealand. And it's like, oh, why don't you road trip it? Why don't you come up to the States? We'll go see the band. And then, we'll go here and there, or just have a good time while you're here, so, but it's just, yeah, I think it's great. Like I said, it's bigger than me, and it's just rolling community.
It is. Like, I took a mate of mine to one of your shows here in Sydney, and he was just hooked to the point where he flew over to the States to go over and see you and meet you guys and do all that sort of stuff. He was just drawn.
Awesome. That's great, man. That's what it's all about.
It is. Now, looking back over your career, it can be very easy to say what can change over time. But what's the one thing that's always stayed the same about what you've done?
Well, I think it's just your love of music. I think if you ask any musician, it's just like, all the bands that you loved when you were a teenager, whether it's Zeppelin and Sabbath and Elton John. And I still love them just as much now as I did when I was 14. Or peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, Reese's, you know what I mean? There's certain things you like when you were a kid that you will like beyond the end of time. You know what I mean? So, but I just think it's definitely the love of music and the love of playing. You know what I mean? I don't think that ever changes. You know what I mean? Like, every night when we get up on stage, I've never been out on the road where I was just like, I can't wait to go home. I can't stand it. Yeah, I just always love it. You know what I mean? It's truly blessed to do what you love. That's the truth.
Sure. And we love you doing it too. So keep doing it.
Cheers, brother.
Now, Zakk, it has been 20 years since a little movie called Rockstar. I need to ask about that because have you guys talked about a 20th anniversary Steel Dragon reunion?
Well, I remember when the movie was done, they were talking about like doing a tour of the band. You know what I mean? Putting the band together and doing a tour, playing all the songs from the soundtrack and everything like that. So, yeah, but I mean, like I said, we had a great time making that movie and a great time recording it and everything like that. So, I mean, if they ever wanted to do something, yeah, of course. I mean, if I could fit it in my schedule between Black Label, playing with the Boss, Generation X, cleaning the dog run, doing dishes, laundry. They will squeeze it in, We'll
see how we go. How is the Boss, by the way? You spoken to him recently?
Yeah. Well, I was still doing all his, therapy and working out, trying to get healthy enough to get back out on the road again. So his bench, his squat, and his deadlift numbers are back up to Aussie world record shattering standards. You know what I mean? So, once the boss is ready to roll, I'm like, guys, don't worry about it. I go, when you feel good enough to roll, we roll.
Yeah.
Trust me, like everyone, no one's going away. Like everyone, when you're good and ready and you're like, yeah, let's do this, and everybody will show up. So
awesome. Looking forward to it.
Like
I just hope.
Yeah. In the meantime, enjoy your time home. I just always tell them, enjoy your time home. Before you know it, you'll be out. We'll be doing it again.
That's true. I just hope we get to see you down here in some way, shape, or form. Very, very soon. That would be what we want.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. So
now, what we do here, we always look ahead to the future with a bit of a prediction. So I want you to finish this sentence for me. In 2022, Zakk Wylde will.
I'll have my penile enhancement surgery because I've been saving up my money for that. As an anniversary gift to Barbara Ann. Yeah.
Awesome. I hope that goes well.
Yeah. It's all about keeping the girls happy. So yeah, as long as she's smiling, that's all that matters. That's why I keep her heavily sedated and in the basement. So she doesn't know anything that's going on. He's always smiling though.
How can you not? Dude, it's always an absolute honor to speak to you. You're one of the funniest, the nicest people that I ever talk to. It's always great, man. That's
what I tell my wife all the time. She's, she doesn't know what I'm saying because, like I said, she's heavily sedated and she's chained up in the basement. So, she can't move her hands and tell me a thumbs up or not because she's chained up. But, Is what it is, man.
There you go. Well, until we speak again, man, hopefully we can do it in person down here in Sydney one day. That would be the best.
You got it, Father George. It was great talking to you, man.
Thanks, Zach, man. I'll talk to you again.
Take care, my brother.
Happy New Year.
You too, brother. Cheers.